Welcome in, everybody. How's it going? How's everybody doing today? Okay, let's get started. So I've been thinking about twice a month coming on to do these live streams to show off a section of my extensive movie collection and talk about it. Show you what I got because I got like 1,200 DVDs, Blu-rays, and TV seasons. So I guess while you're all starting to come in, I'll go ahead and start. Like right here on my Disney DVDs, most of them, the ones I've seen. And over to the side, I have my collection of Disney Blu-rays that I'll be showing afterwards. So I'll go ahead and start. I have them all alphabetized from numbers, then A through Z. And then I have them separated by animated movies and live action movies at the bottom. Hi, James. Welcome in. All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and start because this will take a while. And then as I go along, I'll probably tell my stories behind these movies, how I came about them, what I like about them. So the first one at the top of the list is 101 Dalmatians 2, Patch's London Adventure, the direct-to-video sequel to the original 101 Dalmatians, which I haven't seen yet. Yeah, this was a cute little movie. I have the Pixar classic of A Bug's Life, which is one of my personal favorites. I love the theme song. I love the theme music and the end credits by Randy Newman, and it has some of the best bloopers in it too. A Bug's Life, one of my favorites. And I have this interesting direct-to-video movie called Disney Princess: A Christmas of Enchantment. It's just little shorts and cartoons about the princesses around Christmas time. I haven't seen it in a long time though. This is my own version of Disney Plus, by the way, I like to call it. And then I have The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, another Walt Disney classic from the 50s, I believe. Two different shorts, The Wind in the Willows, and then The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Ichabod Crane. I love the ride at Disneyland, the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And then I have the Disney Renaissance classic, Aladdin, on DVD, which is one of my top 5 favorite all-time Disney films. I love it so much. Great soundtrack, super nostalgic for me. Aladdin, one of my top 5 favorites. And then I have the direct-to-video sequel, Aladdin and the Return of Jafar, the first direct-to-video Disney sequel ever released in 1994. Not as good as the original, but it has its moments. I have Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Got a really nice slipcover going there. Yeah, Aladdin and the King of Thieves, which is the superior Aladdin sequel to me. I like this one quite a bit. Got the whole trilogy. Another Walt Disney classic, Alice in Wonderland. Just marvelous. Alice in Wonderland has the most representation at Disneyland Park with the teacups and the dark ride and everything else. This movie's a real trip. One of my favorite versions of the story. And then I have the original Bambi on DVD, another classic from the early 40s. One of the greats. Great animation in this one. I have the direct-to-video sequel, Bambi 2, which is pretty good from direct-to-video standards. I have Atlantis: The Lost Empire, very underrated and worthy of checking out. A very fun and adventure film. I got another one of my top favorites, Beauty and the Beast. I love everything about this movie. The songs, the animation, just really takes me back to childhood. I love this one so much. I have Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, which is also pretty good for direct-to-video standards. Has some good songs in it too. And a lot of these I made some videos off of on my channel. Big Hero 6, always a fun watch. San Francisco, the city in this movie, is being built in California Adventure now as we speak at Disneyland. I have Bolt. This one has a lot of funny moments in it, all around pretty good. I like this one a lot. Disney Pixar's Brave, considered one of the worst Pixar movies, but I like it. Has a lot of good moments, and I like the songs and animation style. Brave. Brother Bear. I personally don't think this movie is all that good, but I love the song Welcome in it because that reminds me of Disneyland a lot. It used to have some representation in their early parades. Yeah, it has one of my favorite songs in it, though. Brother Bear 2. Another direct-to-video sequel to the original. I thought it was pretty good. Brother Bear 2. Chicken Little. I know this one is really bad, but I have a soft spot for it. It was Disney trying to compete with the animation and jokes of Shrek when it came out. I have Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True on DVD. This is honestly one of the worst Disney sequels out there, but I'm a completist, so it's in my collection. It's an anthology of like 3 short stories. Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, very underrated and also better than it needs to be. This one was really good and it's very enjoyable. As the title says, Twist in Time, there are a lot of twists in this movie. Dinosaur. I remember having this one on VHS back in the day, and the opening was in a lot of preview shorts. But yeah, Dinosaur from 2000, pretty underrated. I have all Disney's classic Dumbo, always a good time. Classic soundtrack, and I love riding the attractions based on this at Disneyland, like Casey Jr. Circus Train and Dumbo the Flying Elephant. The Emperor's New Groove, one of the best and very quotable. One of the funniest Disney movies ever made, and super memeable, quotable. all that. I love it. I have Kronk's New Groove, which is another direct-to-video sequel, which isn't that good, and the first one will always be the best. Finding Dory on DVD, which, hot take, I feel is better than the original Finding Nemo. I love this one a lot. Beautiful animation, all set in an aquarium. Just a lot of things I like in this movie. It's beautifully animated. Oops. I have The Fox and the Hound on DVD, which is arguably one of the saddest Disney films ever made for a lot of people, but it didn't affect me really. Yeah, Fox and the Hound. It was a classic. Fox and the Hound 2, which is also one of the worst Disney sequels ever made. It's really bad. But as I said, I'm a completist. It's my collection. Hi, welcome in. Thanks for showing up. Terrence Frankenweenie, which is really good. I like this one a lot. It's all in black and white. Tim Burton directs it. How can you go wrong with that? Black and white. Tim Burton directs it. How can you go wrong with that? A Goofy movie, one of my top 5 favorites of all time. Rockin' soundtrack, just super nostalgic. I love this one a lot, a whole lot. One of my favorite movies of all time. And then an extremely goofy movie, which isn't as good as the first. I don't really care for this one, but it's in my collection because I wanted to have the whole set. Yeah, an extremely goofy movie. Back in the day, I had a lot of these movies on VHS, but until I upgraded to them to DVD and Blu-ray, saves a lot of space. And then The Great Mouse Detective, a lot of great traps in this movie. If you see my video on it, yep, Great Mouse Detective, one of the underrated movies from the 80s, which I like a lot. Hercules, another one of my all-time favorites. Go the Distance is my life's theme song. I grew up with that song, and it blossomed into one of my all-time favorite songs. Go the Distance. I like all versions and covers of it. Yeah, Hercules, one of my all-time favorite movies. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, one of the most darkest Disney movies from the Renaissance era, which I very much appreciate. I love the dark stuff. The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, which is also one of the worst Disney sequels ever made. It's really bad, but it's only an hour long, so it's a quick watch. The Incredibles, one of Pixar's best. This one is just an awesome movie and has been said to be the best Fantastic Four movie, which I agree with. I have Incredibles 2, which is not as good as the first, but still enjoyable. It was a good time in the theaters for that one. I have James and the Giant Peach on DVD. which is very stylistically interesting. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I have Walt Disney's The Jungle Book, one of the last films Walt Disney was ever a part of. One of the last films he had his hands on before he passed away. Yeah, a lot of nostalgia with this one. Memorable songs, memorable characters. Great time. The Jungle Book 2, a pretty good direct-to-video Disney sequel. The original Lady and the Tramp from the 50s, which is always a classic. I love the animation style of this one, especially the wide background shots. It's a very beautiful movie. Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure, which isn't as good as the first one, but I like it. It's not that bad. I have The Lion King on DVD. One of the best films from the Disney Renaissance, and it's just one of the biggest Disney films to ever come out. Spawned a lot of sequels and a TV show and a remake. The Lion King 1.5, which I like a lot. Lots of great jokes, and I like seeing different movies from different characters' perspectives and point of views. Then The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. I love the soundtrack in this one, especially the opening song, He Lives in You. It's beautifully made. And this is another one of the greatest direct-to-video sequels, in my opinion. The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. Not as good as the first one, of course, but it has some good moments. The Little Mermaid 3, Ariel's Beginning, the last of the Little Mermaid franchise. Make Mine Music, one of the Disney package films from the 40s, I believe. Bunch of short clips, like an anthology film of cartoons. Mars Needs Moms. I have a soft spot for this one, but to be honest, the animation does look pretty ugly in this one. Unfortunately, it's one of the biggest bombs, but I did like it growing up. Meet the Robinsons, a childhood classic for me. The song "Little Wonders" at the end is one of my favorites, and I tear up a little every time I see the Walt Disney quote at the very end about keep moving forward. I live by a lot of these quotes. Melody Time, which is another one of the package films, a series of short cartoons. Always good to have. Mickey's House of Villains, also known as Halloween at the House of Mouse. I used to watch the VHS tape all the time as a kid. I would always skip to the In the Hall of the Mountain King song segment towards the very end. I watched this one a lot as a kid. Still a favorite. I have Mulan on DVD, which is one of my favorite films from the package from the Renaissance era. I'll Make a Man Out of You is one of the greatest Disney songs ever made. It's good to work out to. I have Moana, which is in a case from a discarded library. It's a discarded library copy, so it's a weird sort of clamshell case. Found it at a thrift store. I have Mickey, Donald, and Goofy as the Three Musketeers. This one's a really fun action musical. I like this one a lot growing up. I have The Nightmare Before Christmas on DVD. Always a fun Halloween / Christmas classic, whatever you watch it for. Watch it around Halloween. It has one of the greatest Halloween songs ever made. This is Halloween. Oliver and Company, one of my personal favorites. Streets of Gold is one of my favorite songs. Yep. Oliver and Company. Do I watch Toy Story? Yes, I have all the Toy Story movies, and I'll be getting to those eventually. I have the original Peter Pan on DVD. Great attraction at Disneyland. This has some questionable racist moments in it, but I still like it. Peter Pan in Return to Neverland, the direct-to-video sequel to the original Peter Pan, which is also a pretty fun time. I like this one. Phineas and Ferb, the movie, Across the Second Dimension. I haven't seen this one in a long time, so I don't remember much of it. Piglet's Big Movie, a pretty charming direct-to-video Winnie the Pooh flick. Volume 1 of the Pixar short films, which I recently made a video of about a month ago. I love growing up with these short films, especially when they played before the movie on the VHS tapes. That one's always a classic for me. Disney's Planes, Fire and Rescue. These Planes movies get a lot of hate, but I still kind of like them. Pocahontas, another underrated film from the Renaissance era. Colors of the Wind and Savages are my favorite songs from this one. Pooh's Heffalump movie, which is another cute little Winnie the Pooh film. This one's pretty fun. Princess and the Frog. I'm excited to see Splash Mountain turn into this one. I can't wait for that. I'm really excited. I like this movie quite a bit. Ratatouille, one of my favorite Disney Pixar films. Another one that's beautifully animated and always makes me hungry every time I watch it. Recess School's Out, the movie based on the TV show. I used to watch this movie a lot as a kid on VHS, and I still like it a lot to this day. One of my favorites. Yes, for Ratatouille, I just showed it a second ago. One of my favorite Pixar films. A Recess Christmas, Miracle on 3rd Street, which is a batch of holiday cartoons from the show, about 3 cartoons. I have Disney's The Rescuers on DVD, which is a fun one. The Rescuers Down Under, which is the rare superior sequel to the original. Yeah, I feel like this one is much better than the original Rescuers. This one's a great time. Disney's Robin Hood, always a classic. Lots of great jokes and fun adventure. Stitch, the movie, which is the sequel to the original Lilo and Stitch. One of the 4 direct video sequels, I think. But yeah, I like all these. I like anything Lilo and Stitch related. Leroy and Stitch, which is the last of the direct-to-video sequels for the film. This one's pretty fun as well, very creative. Walt Disney's Sleeping Beauty. I'm sure if a lot of you have heard that the dragon that you see in Fantasmic at Disneyland caught on fire and burned down. That was very unfortunate to see. But yeah, Walt Disney classic, Sleeping Beauty. And then The Sword and the Stone. This one's also pretty underrated, but I like this one a lot. Great comedy in it. Disney's Tarzan, one of my personal favorites from the late 90s. I love the Phil Collins soundtrack. Like, he didn't have to go so hard for this movie, but he did, which is why I like it so much. Tarzan 2, another pretty good direct-to-video Disney sequel. All about Tarzan as a kid. It's got some great moments. Tarzan and Jane, which is a series of 3 cartoons, like a pilot for the TV series that are all together on one disc. Of course, with these, the animation style looks pretty bad, but I like it. Walt Disney's The Three Caballeros, which is always a fun watch. Great music. Three Caballeros. Walt Disney's The Three Little Pigs, which is a series of 7 Disney cartoons from the 30s and 40s. A lot of fun with that one. Tangled, one of the best from the 2010s. Saw this one in theaters. A really fun watch. I have the original Toy Story on DVD, which is one of my favorites. One of my all-time favorites. I can quote this movie front to back as I'm watching it. I got it memorized. Just so good. Did I watch Encanto? Yes, I did watching Encanto. But yeah, I watched on Disney Plus, but I don't have the DVD or Blu-ray of it. I streamed that one. Toy Story: The Land That Time Forgot. A fun half-hour long Disney special. That was a good one. Treasure Planet, a very underrated film from the early 2000s. Very underrated. This one's really good and stylistically incredible. Pixar's Up, one of the Pixar greats. I'm looking forward to seeing the new short that came out. Great time. Valiant, another underrated Disney film. I haven't seen this one in a long time. The Wild, basically Disney's rip-off of DreamWorks Madagascar, but still pretty good, I think. and some total Madagascar ripoff, but it has its moments. Wreck-It Ralph, one of the best from the recent years in the last decade or so. This one's a lot of fun. Great soundtrack too. I have Pixar's WALL-E on DVD. Always a fun time. The cover's a little bit holographic. The first original Winnie the Pooh movie from 1977. Full of a bunch of cartoons. And this is the movie that the ride at Disneyland is based off of, The Amazing Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Yep. I have a DVD from the Science of Disney Imagineering series, which was a series of DVDs that came out, talk about how certain parts in the attraction work, like from kids in math class. Like this one's levers and pulleys, but there's other ones about electricity or water. There's a whole long series on it. And recently, I made a bunch of videos for all of these classic cartoon favorites starring DVDs. This one has a bunch of Mickey cartoons on it I recently made a video for. Starring Donald, with a bunch of Donald-related cartoons from the early 40s. Starring Goofy cartoons, Goofy-centered animation series. Fun watch. Starring Chip and Dale related cartoons. A lot of good moments in this one. Extreme music fun. Music and orchestra and dance related cartoons in this selection. Extreme adventure fun. Adventure and travel and camping related cartoons in this DVD. Are Pinocchio and Toy Story your favorite Disney movies? Classic holiday stories. This one only has 3. It has the small one, Pluto's Christmas Tree, and Mickey's Christmas Carol. Perfect time for the holidays. Best Pals, Mickey and Minnie. Mickey and Minnie related cartoons, on about 7 or 8 cartoons on each disc. So it's about an hour long. Best Pals, Donald and Daisy. Donald and Daisy related cartoons about those two. And the last one I have in that selection is Best Pals, Mickey and Pluto. Mickey and Pluto centered cartoons. This one's a great series. And then I have some childhood favorite VHS tapes here that I don't play anymore because I don't have a VCR, but I like to keep them. This one was a Disneyland Resort vacation planning video from 2003. Cheesy, but incredibly nostalgic for me. I love watching it over and over again, and I pretty much wore out the tape. Disneyland, another vacation planning video from the Disneyland Resort. Back before the Incredicoaster was around, so you know it's outdated. And I have a few of the classic sing-along song tapes from my childhood. You all are probably too young to know about these. But yeah, Be Our Guest, sing-along songs. sing along songs of 12 Days of Christmas. I have VHS of the first 5 original Pixar shorts on VHS. The Adventures of Wally B, Luxo Jr., Red's Dream, Tintoy, and Knick Knack. I bought this DVD last summer of the Pacific Northwest Mouse Meet, which is a recorded version of the guest speakers that were at the 2012 convention in Linwood, Washington. I was there last year for it. I'm going back again this year. Disney convention in Linwood, Washington. Disney Parks Where Dreams Come True DVD, talking about behind the scenes of Disneyland and Walt Disney World, California, Florida. I love this one a lot. Disney Parks Vacation Planning DVD from 2008. Very nostalgic for me. I would watch these all the time. I was obsessed with it as a kid. Still a little bit obsessed now. Disneyland Remember the Moments. Another vacation planning video. This one's from 2004. Just going through what's to offer at the resort. The Walt Disney World Happy Celebration on Earth, a vacation planning DVD for the Walt Disney World Resort. I don't think I've seen this one yet. Now we'll start with the live action Disney movies I have. That was all the animated ones, and now we're going to start with the live action. I have the first Disney live action remake on DVD, 101 Dalmatians, with Glenn Close as Cruella. A lot of fun in this one. One of my earliest booby trap videos. "102 Dalmatians," the sequel to the original. Glenn Close again. I love the end scene of the factory. The Absent-Minded Professor, or the original version of Flubber. This one's a classic. Tim Burton's Alice Through the Looking Glass. The original was better, but I still like this one. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Surprisingly short, at an hour and 15 minutes long without credits. Angels in the Outfield, a baseball classic with Christopher Lloyd. This one's a charming little film. The Apple Dumpling Gang and the Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again. A couple of Walt Disney classics with Don Knotts in them. Jackie Chan's version of Around the World in 80 Days. This was a classic to me growing up, but I hate it when DVDs are in full screen format. I need to upgrade to this. I hate full screen so much. The 1960 version of Babes in Toyland. This is one of my childhood favorites growing up. I would watch the end fight all the time, and the music, March of the Toys, really gets my blood pumping. It's great. A lot of exciting things. My personal favorite live-action Disney remake, Beauty and the Beast from 2017. one of the few movies I watched twice in theaters, and I was so excited to watch it. I was singing along to everything. This one's great. So much fun. Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, one of the classics from the 60s. A lot of great songs, and another one that blends live action and animation. Check it out if you can. I have the Best of the Mickey Mouse Club on DVD, which is clips from the original show from the 50s, Walt Disney's era. I have The Big Green on DVD, which is one of the classic soccer movies, soccer comedies from Disney. Blackbeard's Ghost, underrated Disney movie from the 60s about pirates and ghosts. A lot of great camera tricks in this one before CGI. Blank Check, nostalgic movie from the 90s for most, but if you look back on it as an adult, it's pretty bad and questionable. Camp Rock, not I liked it a lot growing up, especially the soundtrack, but not so much anymore. Christopher Robin, which is a really great movie. I like this one a lot. It's really well made and heartfelt. Disney's Cinderella, the live action remake of the original. I only watched this once, but I remember liking it. Cool Runnings, the movie with John Goodman about Jamaica's first Olympic bobsled team. Always a classic. The Country Bears, based off the Disney attraction. Really stupid, but I like from Christopher Walken in this one. Two of the original Davy Crockett movies. Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier, and Davy Crockett and the River Pirates. These ones are classics and have a lot of representation at the Disneyland Resort. Darby O'Gill and the Little People, which I watched recently, and the camera tricks in this one are incredible. A movie about leprechauns. Great movie to watch around St. Patrick's Day. Eloise at Christmas Time, which I watched a lot on the Disney Channel growing up around the holidays. It was always on TV. It has Julie Andrews in it. Escape to Witch Mountain, which is one of my personal favorite franchises, the Witch Mountain series. I watched this one a lot as a kid. Great effects, fun characters. Hi, Crow the Sailor fan. Welcome in. It's good to see you again. I have Return from Witch Mountain, which is the sequel to the original, which I think is better than the original. I watched this one even more than the original, so it's my favorite out of the franchise. Race to Witch Mountain, the movie with Dwayne Johnson that came out in 2009. So this is like the closing movie of the trilogy. Hi, 8123. First Kid with Sinbad. I don't really like this one all that much, but it's in my collection, so it's good. It's good to watch occasionally. It's been a long time since I did see it, though. Flubber with Robin Williams. I'll always prefer the original Absent-Minded Professor, but this one's still pretty good. Frank and Ollie, the story of 2 of the 9 of Walt Disney's 9 old men. They were the animators for a lot of the original films, like Pinocchio, Lady and the Tramp, The Jungle Book, Alice in Wonderland. I love documentaries about Disney. What's my opinion on the Race to Wish Mountain 2009? I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. When I first watched it, I didn't know it was a sequel to those other 2 movies I just showed. But yeah, I liked the one a lot. I have the original Freaky Friday with Jodie Foster. The effects in this one aren't that good, but it has some good moments in it. And then I have the 2003 remake of Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, which is one of the greats. It's been better than the original Freaky Friday. A lot of fun. George of the Jungle with Brendan Fraser. Another classic. Like, extremely funny. So funny. G-Force. I grew up watching this one a lot. Guinea pigs as spies. Interesting premise. Yeah, this one's a lot of fun. Great action sequences. I have Walt Disney's The Gnome-Mobile, which I watched recently for the first time. It has the kids from Mary Poppins in it. They did 3 films together, and it's about finding the land of the gnomes. This one's a great movie. I have the first 2 Halloween Town movies on DVD. Always a good time to watch around the holidays. Great franchise. I have Halloween Town High, which is the next sequel in the Halloween Town franchise. And then Return to Halloween Town, which is the last in the franchise. Probably the weakest of them all, in my opinion. Eddie Murphy's The Haunted Mansion, which I do have a soft spot for. This is the one that got me into horror movies. So yeah, I know it's bad, but I like it a lot. Who is Mark Elliott again? I forget who that is. Heavyweights, a really funny movie about a fat camp from the 1990s. Ben Stiller's performance is great. Like, one of the best. And then I have a bunch of Herbie movies. The VW Bug. I have the first one, The Love Bug, on DVD. I haven't watched these movies in years. I'll have to revisit them soon. Herbie Rides Again. Another sequel. Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. This is like a fun franchise. And then the remake from 2005 with Lindsay Lohan, Herbie Fully Loaded, which is my personal favorite. This one's a great time. I have Disney Holes, Disney's Holes, which just celebrated its 20th anniversary. One of the best book adaptations, in my opinion. I love this one so much. Mark Elliott is best known for narrating the Disney feature presentation logo from the late 80s. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's who that guy is. I know who he is now. Yeah. He's great. I love those old intros. They really bring me back to my childhood. I have the two Homeward Bound movies on DVD. The first one is one of my all-time favorites. Great soundtrack, and the ending always gets me emotional. Homeward Bound 2. Sassy is my favorite character in those films. Her lines are great. It's very funny. I have the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids trilogy. The first one from the late 80s, which is arguably the best one. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, the next sequel. And Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. All around a great trilogy. Hot Lead and Cold Feet, which is Disney's The Don Knotts Western. Don Knotts was in a lot of older Disney movies, and if you don't know who he is, your dad will know him from the Andy Griffith Show if they watched that. But yeah, I watched this recently, and it's really funny. What about the Ernest movies? Those will be later. This live stream is just showing off my Disney collection, and then in the future, I'll be showing off my comedy collection, which the Ernest movies will be a part of. I'll Be Home for Christmas, a travel adventure for the holidays. I personally love the Ernest movies, but of course Jim Varney didn't just do Ernest. He did a lot of other movies I like too, like Treehouse Hostage, Three Ninjas, High Noon and Mega Mountain, something about snowboards. There was the Beverly Hillbillies, who was in that movie too. Then I have the two Inspector Gadget movies on DVD. I know they're both pretty bad critically, but I like them. I have Disney's The Kid with Bruce Willis and Spencer Breslin. This one's a pretty good dramatic film. I have Maleficent on DVD. I only saw this once in theaters, but I kind of liked it. I haven't seen the sequel yet. I have Mary Poppins in a 2-disc set. And this is my all-time favorite Disney movie, no doubt about that. It means a lot to me. I thought Inspector Gadget from '99 was guilty pleasure, but I can't say the same about the sequel. Yeah, the '99 one is better in my opinion. I watched that one more than the sequel, and I tend to like that one more. Disney's Man of the House with Chevy Chase and Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Max Keeble's Big Move, which I also watched a lot as a kid, over and over again on VHS. I watched this one a lot. I have the 2016 Jungle Book remake, which is awesome. I really like this one a lot. I have the 3 Mighty Ducks movies, kids hockey films. I haven't seen the series on Disney Plus yet. I've only seen the original films. Mr. Magoo, based off the cartoon with Leslie Nielsen. He plays a blind man who keeps getting into all this kind of trouble, or a visually challenged person. My Favorite Martian with Jeff Daniels and Christopher Lloyd. This one's pretty fun. Watched it a lot as well growing up. National Treasure with Nick Cage, stealing the Declaration of Independence. Always a good watch. Reminds me of Indiana Jones. Old Dogs with Robin Williams and John Travolta, which I know is bad, but I like a lot. I have a soft spot for this one. The one and only genuine original family band, which I have not seen in years, but I remember being a pretty good musical. Vin Diesel and the Pacifier, which I also know is bad, but I kind of like it. Has a great climax. I have the original two Parent Trap movies with Haley Mills. It's got a nice slipcover here. The two original Parent Trap movies, and then the Parent Trap movie with Lindsay Lohan, which I did watch a lot too. Yeah, that's good. Starring Bolt, Genie, and Chris. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I have the original Pete's Dragon. This is one of my dad's favorites, which I like a lot too. I have Tim Allen's The Santa Claus Trilogy. I have not seen the series on Disney Plus yet, but I heard it's really good. Bringing it back. I have the original Shaggy Dog and Tim Allen's The Shaggy Dog. Remember being pretty fun films. I have one of the sing-along song tapes in DVD form, which is always good to have because these are pretty rare, I believe. I have Sky High on DVD, another one of my childhood favorites. Always a good time. So Dear to My Heart, an old Disneyland classic. There's some good songs in that one. Walt Disney's Song of the South. Not available anywhere except through bootleg DVDs, which is what this one is. The Strongest Man in the World, which is one of Kurt Russell's movies he made with Disney a long time ago. Swiss Family Robinson, which is one of my personal favorite Disney movies from 1960. I would always skip to the end for the booby trap filled climax. That Darn Cat, which I watched a long time ago, but not recently. I don't remember much about this one, so I have to watch it again. Yeah, the original is always better. I like the original too more. I have the Tower of Terror movie with Steve Guttenberg. It's not really that good, but it was an interesting to see movie based off the well-known ride. Tron Legacy. I hear there's a new roller coaster made at Walt Disney World based on this. I have not seen the original though. Got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is one of my favorites that I used to watch all the time as well. And I love the attraction in Disneyland based on this. Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin. A lot of fun camera tricks and animation sequences. Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie on DVD. Always a good time. Really. Meet the Robinsons is kind of an inspiration of Swiss Family Robinson. They both share the same name, Robinson, so maybe they are related somehow. I have the Air Buddies franchise on DVD, which includes all 7 films. Got the whole box set there. And then I still have a bunch of the old sing-along song tapes on DVD. I mean, not DVD, VHS. Like Hi Ho, Circle of Life, Colors of the Wind, Very Merry Christmas Songs, Under the Sea, The Bare Necessities, You Can Fly, Zippity Doodah, and the one I watched the most, Disneyland Fun, which, as you can tell by the case, I watched a lot as a kid. It's very worn out. And a couple more, like Friend Like Me, Mulan, Honor to Us All, and a couple of other classic vacation planning videos on VHS. This one right here is one I watched constantly. Pretty much have them memorized back to back, and that's only available in VHS. It's on YouTube though. Do I think Dom DeLuise could have been a better voice for Mr. Potato Head, or do I think Don Rickles is better? I wouldn't know what Dom DeLuise would sound like, but I know he is good at voices, so maybe he would have been a good fit. But Don Rickles didn't last longer, so he was able to make more movies, but I do like his voice. Do you think Dom DeLuise could have been better? Okay. Those are all of the DVDs, so now I'll move on to the Blu-rays I own. In no particular order, and disregard the thrift store price tags. I haven't taken them off yet, but Toy Story 3 on Blu-ray. Gotta get the whole franchise. The original Cinderella from 1950 on Blu-ray. Eventually, I want to convert all of these to Blu-ray too. Snow White, the very first Disney animated feature. Walt Disney's Underdog. I know it's a pretty meh movie, but I liked it a lot. I've never seen All Dogs Go to Heaven. I haven't seen that movie yet, but I'm pretty sure he would have made a good voice for Mr. Potato Head if he was able to live longer to provide his voice for all the sequels. Well, I have the live action Aladdin remake on Blu-ray. I'm kind of hit or miss in all these remakes, but some I like, some I don't. I have the Lion King remake on Blu-ray. Toy Story 4. I'm not looking forward to Toy Story 5. I only kind of like Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. 4 was needed. Cars on Blu-ray. Always a good one to have. The original Finding Nemo. I haven't seen those memes yet, but I know the clip from Aladdin that you're referring to. I'll have to look those up after the stream. I have Mickey's Once Upon and Twice Upon a Christmas on Blu-ray. Once Upon a Christmas is far better than Twice Upon a Christmas. I don't like that CG animation. I prefer hand drawn. The Tigger movie, another charming Winnie the Pooh film. Toy Story 2, one of the Pixar greats. Hannah Montana, the movie. I grew up with the show as a kid when it was on Disney Channel. Yeah. They're only making Toy Story 5 because they're losing money through Disney Plus, so they're making another one to gain their money back. Monsters Inc. on Blu-ray. Fun attraction at Disneyland. Great soundtrack. I have seen the memes from Monsters Inc. where they play the opening theme, then blast it really loud. The Aristocats. Everybody wants to be a cat. ''s The Muppets. A lot of fun songs in this one. Good slipcover. Toy Story of Terror, which is probably my favorite Toy Story special. And then the original Pinocchio on DVD and Blu-ray. Looks great on Blu-ray. Yeah. I love Mike's scream as well. Especially when he's in the hallway and it echoes. Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol, which I really like a lot. I like the dark stuff. Tim Burton's original Alice in Wonderland, which I like a lot. I do like it a lot. Adam Sandler's Bedtime Stories, which I saw in theaters and liked a lot when I saw it. The BFG. I saw this once in a drive-in when it came out, and I haven't really watched it since. Cars 2 and 3. I agree with people that say Cars 2 is one of Disney's worst movies. Enchanted. I like this one a lot, especially the song Ever Ever After by Carrie Underwood. I have not seen the sequel on Disney Plus yet. Gotta have Frozen. Everybody has it. Inside Out. I like this one a lot. It makes me emotional towards the end when I watch this one. You need to check out Bedtime Stories since you're a huge Adam Sandler fan. Yeah, the comedy's a little different since like Adam Sandler's only did Disney movies, but I think it's worth checking out. I'm sure it's on Disney Plus if you have it. The original Lilo and Stitch. I'm looking forward to the remake on this. And this one has a lot of great songs in it. A lot of sequels, a lot of episodes for the TV series. The original The Little Mermaid on Blu-ray. Great movie that started off the Disney Renaissance, 1989. Monsters University, a pretty good Disney prequel. National Treasure 2. I hear the TV series they tried on Disney Plus only lasted one season and got canceled. You personally prefer Cars 2, although it is unnecessary, made her gain lots of screen time. Yeah, Disney tends to have a problem with that of making the comedic side character, the first one, the focus of the sequel. Finding Dory had that too. Oz the Great and Powerful. I haven't watched this one in several years, but I thought it was good. And then I have let's see. I have the first 4 Pirates of the Caribbean films on Blu-ray. Curse of the Black Pearl, which is the best of the series. Dead Man's Chest, and At World's End and On Stranger Tides. I don't have Dead Men Tell No Tales yet, but I have seen all of them, and I love the ride that's based off of. Ralph Breaks the Internet, which isn't, it's not that good, but I like the Disney princess scene. The first Rick and Ralph is far superior in my opinion. And the last one I have, Saving Mr. Banks, which is the story about how Mary Poppins was created, and this is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love learning about Disney history. And I know Marvel is Disney and have my fair share of Marvel movies as well, but those will be in my superhero section when I do that stream. You like Zach Braff a lot better as the monkey from Oz the Great and Powerful. He was totally wasted as Chicken Little. Yeah. Chicken Little was just awful. But yeah, I could see how he was better as a monkey. And then lastly, I have a bunch of Disney movies I have on DVD, but I have not seen them. I have not watched them yet. So these are the ones I have not seen. I have not seen the original 101 Dalmatians yet, but I have seen some small clips from it. The Black Cauldron. I hear this is one of Disney's worst, but I'll check it out and see for myself someday. Pooh's Grand Adventure, which I will be making YouTube videos for soon. Disney's first live-action movie, Treasure Island. All of these I have not seen, but I wanted to check these out. George Clooney's Tomorrowland. I hear that this one isn't that good, but I still like to see it. These are all blind buys for me. The Muppets Most Wanted, the sequel to the 2011 movie. I have seen the Muppets Haunted Mansion, which I thought was great. Tim Allen and Jungle to Jungle. I don't know much about this one. Could be good. Into the Woods, which I hear is a Disney musical of sorts. The Lone Ranger, which I hear is pretty problematic and extremely long, but I'll get around to watching it someday. And out of these two, I have seen Dad Napped. I have not seen Hatching Pete yet. These are a bunch of Disney Channel original movies, but Dad Napped is great. Eloise at the Plaza. I've only seen the Christmas one. I haven't seen the first one. Muppets Most Wanted is okay. Not as good as Muppets from 2011. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you're right. And the last two Disney movies I have are Fantasia 2000. I haven't seen the original Fantasia either, but I don't have it on DVD or Blu-ray. So someday I'll watch both Fantasia movies. And then I have a documentary about Walt Disney, which I'm really looking forward to watching. Anything about Walt Disney, I'm looking forward to learning about. Yeah, those are all the Disney movies I own. And I'll probably put a poll up next time to see what other genre you guys want me to talk about or show off. And a lot of these movies I made videos for, they can be found in my Disney related playlists in my playlist section on my channel. So you can check those out there. And I guess I'll sign off for now. Been on here for about an hour and 17 minutes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting. I'll put up a poll for you guys to choose what genre you want me to talk about next. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.